Hey, welcome back to Five Lakes Garage. And today I'm getting ready to do a rather large project. In the back, where I have my wood pile, I want to get rid of the wood pile and I actually want to put in a shed. A lot of times when I need to move stuff out of the garage downstairs, the lawnmower's in the way, the generator's in the way, the log splitter's in the way, the tiller, all that garbage. I want to get that thing out and put back into the shed. I've already sent in all my paperwork into the HOA, hopefully that they will approve it, and if they do, then we're going to put it in there. Now here's my problem. This is how I need to get prepped. My nail gun, now I have used this thing for years. I've had this thing probably at least 15 years, and it's made a lot of projects. Now the hammer itself actually works pretty well. The safety works really well, all that stuff. I try to keep it lubricated. I do put oil down in airline itself to try to lubricate all the seals. All that seems to be okay, and it does not leak. Now here's my problem though. This, you put your nails in. Okay, it doesn't, oh, there you go. All right, it's a little bit hard to put in there, so there's some trash in there. So I let go of this, it gets to there, boom, it gets hung up. All right, again, I need to get that fixed. But even if I get it in here, as far as it goes, it doesn't go any further. So I can't finish the entire round of nails. So I'm going to dig into this and figure out what we need to do. Now, I've never actually taken one of these things apart. I briefly looked at that on the internet on a blow-up diagram, but I couldn't really find anything that actually took apart the actual chamber for the rounds or for the nails. I have seen some bunch of people that actually rebuilt this thing all the way from the top, and they did a fantastic job, but I don't think I need to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and use it some more before I actually dig into it that far. The rebuild kit for the actual hammer itself, I believe it's only like 50 bucks, 60 bucks. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm hoping that with a really good cleaning that this thing will be ready to go and actually operate as it should. So we're going to dig in, we're going to take this thing apart and figure out what we got here. So the things you're going to need are, need a couple things of Allen wrenches, because of course they use Allen screws, and the other very important thing, wear some safety goggles in there. So let's dig into this and figure out what is wrong. All right, so it looks like there's an Allen screw there and an Allen screw there. I'm pretty sure once you pull that off, all these springs are probably gonna fly in my face. So let's find out if that is true. Yeah, sometimes I really probably should research some of this stuff before I actually start it. I got confidence that we can figure it out. There she goes. It's like a 7mm. Okay, nothing's flying out yet. Give me time. Going. It is kind of dirty, I have to say. A little bit of neglect. All right. Just gonna take all this off. Okay, so this is pretty much what we have. We just really want to worry about this section down here. I pretty much loosen everything up. You have one little tiny screw on this side, which is actually pretty long. That actually holds down your catch to where you can pull this back and actually allow the slide to go forward. There's one in the front. There's one on the other side. Let me flip it. Okay, so there's one there, there's one on the other side. You have to undo these to actually take it away from the gun, and then it should fall apart. So let's see how many springs fall out. Okay, so this is the reason why we're actually cleaning this. That does not belong in there. Oh yeah, I made it. Okay, so I'm going to clean all this stuff up here. I'm going to make sure she's lubricated and make sure all that, yep, that all works great. So we'll clean that. But this is our biggest issue. Uh-oh, that doesn't look good. Alright. Alright, there's your slide, there's your spring. And this is a very dirty, nasty sleeve. All right, I'm gonna spray a bunch of brake clean in there, try to blow that out, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have basically everything I need here. This is your spring, so it will unravel as you pull it back. I pretty much cleaned everything up, but the problem that I had was that I had this piece right here. And this is only part of it. So this is only part of it, but as you can see, it is all broken in pieces. So we had to do something. Now I'm probably going to go ahead and order that piece. It looks like it has one piece on this side, one piece on that side, and somehow they're connected together. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm sure I will look it up once I get on there, get on the internet. But what I did do was actually create a new piece right here, and I figure since this was plastic, it doesn't have to be too strong. It just needs to be a guide to keep this thing from wobbling all over the place. So what I did was actually made it out of oak hardwood floor. So this was left over from a project from a buddy of mine. And so I just cut it down on the on the chop saw, and then hit it with this belt sander to actually get it to be close to the same size. Now, once you lubricate it, it should work okay for right now, but for long term, I'm gonna go ahead and buy the whole new piece. So now all we have to do is put it all back together. Your spring comes through the top and over the top of the new piece you just created. Then you have a rod that fits in the groove, which will fit into the gun. All right. So once you get everything in and in place, you're going to put it all the way to the top, but then you have to try to reach in there and grab that spring with a pair of pliers. There she goes. See, you can pull it straight out, and then you're going to be able to push that back in and actually put your screw in. Ow! Careful, it is under a lot of pressure. That hurt. So you put your little screw in, and then hold on to that real tight because it's going to move. And then you push everything in until you get that screw through the hole. There you go. All right, so you got my screw all the way through. I'm gonna put my nut on there before I lose it. All right, so now that's a whole lot better. All right, so let's put the back piece back in. All right, once you get it lined up, you take your really long bolt, stick that through. All right, so this is the catch that will catch the slide as it goes back. Now there's supposed to be a piece of plastic right here that obviously is broken off. So I just have it let it sit in there. And then when I want to pull it back, I manually put my finger in there. I could actually whittle something out or maybe put a bolt in there or something like that to keep this from flopping back and forth so much. But we're just gonna leave it alone until I get all my other parts to rebuild it. All right, so there you go. So now I'll pull this up, gonna shoot this way. But I don't have the head on it, so I'm not going to do that. So let's put the head back on. So don't forget your washer. And also your screw. It's an Allen screw. Alright, nice and tight. Tight like Twiga. So then you take your other ones here. I can find whichever Allen wrench is. Alright, so to hook up to the handle, there are two holes on the back side of this. And you're going to be able to stick it in there. Now, if you can see inside there, that spring is right in the way. So we need to pull this all the way forward. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to put my other screw in there just to make sure she's going to be lined up. All right. So, of course, you pull this, it releases, goes all the way to the end. Put this upside down and use gravity to help me. Stick it all the way through. There we go. Put your nut on. All right, one thing to really look for when you're looking at these nuts, they do have some Teflon on there, or a nylon. It's basically it's a locking nut. If that is worn in any way, you should go ahead and get new ones, because once they're used, most of the time they don't work so well the next time. But since I'm going to tear this thing down again when I get the actual parts instead of a piece of wood, I'll do it then. All right. Pull her back. She locks. Fantastic. Let's put our rounds in. Let it go. Slides right in. Fantastic. Let's see if she works. All right, one way to ensure that your guns will last a long time, always use the proper oil. Now this stuff here, I've had it for a really long time. It is an air tool lubricating oil. Don't just put regular oil in there. Don't use WD-40. It's not really a lubricant. It's water dispersant, unless you buy the the type of WD-40 that is a lubricant. But use air tool oil. And all you want to do is just drop a drop or two. One, two, whoop, that's a little bit much. Right into where the air nozzle goes in. So what that's going to do is actually spray that out. All your seals, all of your hammers, everything is going to be lubricated. And not only that, it will keep your seals from dry rotting out. So let's fire it and see how it works. Let's go. So another quick tip about these guns here. One, always wear safety glasses, which I have mine right here. And always look at the back, or look at it somewhere on there. It should tell you how much PSI you really want to run. A lot of my little small guns, little Brad, little finishing, 90 PSI is the most they want to do. You can do 120 PSI on this guy. And I'm not sure what I have it set at right now, but we'll find out. This is about a 3.5 inch rib shank nail. Let's see if it goes right to the table. I think that worked like a champ. Okay, so we just gonna blast a few nails in here, but I think we're good to go, at least for right now, until I can get that new piece. Once I get the new piece, I'll tear this back apart and actually replace that properly. I did go through and clean everything, and also I'm going to run some lubrication all the way down the shaft here as well, just to make sure that it is actually going to go, yeah, that it'll go smoothly. A couple of little quick tips though. If I'm ready to put this guy away, I'm going to disconnect my air. I'm going to put my cap on there because you don't want to get dirt inside here. If I can get my cap on, there we go. And also, don't leave rounds in your gun. If you leave rounds in here, that spring inside is going to start not being as springy as it needs to be. So make sure you empty it out. There we go. Of all your rounds. So don't store it with rounds in it. Push it all the way to the front so that your spring actually stays sprung. So anyway, hopefully this helps you. There are some other videos out there on YouTube that will replace the hammer, replace all your other stuff inside the actual mechanism here. Did not find too many of them that actually went through the actual body of it there. So hopefully this kind of helps you a little bit. When I actually get the parts, I might actually go back and redo this video with the actual real parts instead of what I made out of wood. If you watch any of the other shows, you understand that I'm impatient. And if I can make a part, I'm gonna make it just in order to get it by. The piece that I made was just something to hold the spring steady and also guide it down the slot, because I have a shed to build this weekend. And hopefully you'll come down on that journey because it's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm hoping to get most of it done, hopefully dry it in this weekend. We'll see. Depends on how much help I get from the kids, and should be great. So anyway, like, subscribe, share it, and also read all the comments. So post up there, post on YouTube, whichever one you feel like, and come join the adventure, because we got building to do.